So I just got back from seeing the new Lovely Bones movie. I read the book and I was looking forward to seeing this movie. Well, overall the movie was pretty slow in some parts, well, in most parts really, but it was a good movie. There's some things that I would have changed from the movie. At the end it got really slow and I was really hoping for the movie to pick up its pace and to get to the better parts of the book that I remember. And it did in some parts, but in most parts it was a pretty slow movie. The visual effects were very, very pretty. Overall, I think the director did a very good job with it. Mark Wahlberg did an amazing job as the dad. He was very convincing and very good at what he did. And the sister, I don't know the actress's name, but she did very good. She just did really good in some parts. I mean, some parts she was just another actress, but in other parts she did really good. To get to the spoilers part, overall, if you haven't seen the movie, I really don't want you to watch this yet because I promise that you're going to want to not know what's going to happen next, especially if you haven't read the book and you're going to go see the movie. Overall, you really do need to see this, so please come back and watch this after you have watched the movie. And so here's some spoilers. So there's this part in the cornfield where her dad goes after the killer because the killer goes in the cornfield and her dad, knows that it's him. So he goes out there with this bat, and the whole time if you've read the book, you know what's going to happen, and you're totally expecting what's going to happen. Then all of a sudden, when he attacks the person in the cornfield, he's getting whooped by this boy. And in the book, he definitely kicked that boy's butt. Like, there's no comparison. And it was completely different. But overall, I mean, they did a good job with the scene. It was just, I would have rather seen the dad kick that kid's butt instead of that kid just continually keep beating him up. I don't even know why they kept him, why they let that kid just keep wailing on him. The part where, at the very beginning, where Susie Salmon is down in that little thing with the killer, and he's, got her where he needs her to be. I felt really scared for her. If I was in that situation, I'd be freaking out. And they did a very good job. She did a very good job portraying a terrified person. She was about to start crying, and I really felt for her. That would be terrifying, and I really, the whole time you're watching her try to escape for, it's 2 minutes, though. You really wish she would escape, but you know she's not going to, and it kind of stinks. Another thing, near the end, honestly, the biggest thing I had with the book, and now with the movie, was that the killer got completely caught, put in jail, everything. And, instead he was killed by falling off a cliff in the movie or by an icicle in the book. I'm glad they didn't completely change it, but if they did change something in the movie, that would definitely be what it would be for me. Something else I didn't agree with, which is where Susie comes back and she sees Ray and that Ruth girl, and she goes into Ruth's body and starts kissing Ray. I really, in the book, didn't like that part either. In the movie, I didn't want to see it. I mean, it was just going to be a pointless scene, and then I just don't even understand how that, I don't believe that will happen. I mean, she's gone. It was just too much for the thing. The whole time you want her to come back to life, but it was just overkill when she really did. Oh, okay, when the other Salmon girl, her sister, goes and sneaks into that guy's house, the killer's house. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's always great to have an amazing audience with you when you're watching the movie because you get really into it. Everybody's getting really into it, especially in a really tense scene. And that was definitely one. When he finds out that she's in there and he hears her, when she's trying to get the heck out of there, everybody was screaming in the theater. But anyway, so everybody was getting really pumped about her trying to get out of there. And when she did, and when she fell, she fell on the ground and she was trying to catch her breath, she completely fell on her back. And everybody was screaming for her to get up, and when she finally did, it was a close call. Everybody was getting really into that part. I mean, everybody in the theater was getting really into it. So we had a really great audience tonight in the theater, which made the premiere a lot better. I really enjoyed that scene. It was really good. Overall, I mean, you know how it went if you are watching this. It went from really, really happy with, like, some laughter. I was pretty surprised they had some humor in it. I mean, I was kind of expecting just it to be a pretty sad movie, but they actually had some pretty good humor in it, and that was pretty good. Overall, it went from happy to violent and then really sad. When her dad is breaking the glass shit bottle things they make, the little boats in a bottle. Anyway, so when he's breaking those, the whole time you're like, you really feel for him. Another person who did really good acting is obviously the murderer. He really did creep me out. Like, there's no way that I would think that guy is a nice, cool neighbor. Like, he was a freak. Overall, it was a good movie. I would definitely rent it. I mean, you could go see it, but if you're really into, like, a really good movie that you're going to be really into the whole time, it's not this movie. But it's a good movie. Definitely rent it. You have to see it. If you've read the book, you really need to see it just to get a different view of the book, because it definitely changed my view of the book. And I guess that's about it. So, thanks, bye.